Let's jump to this tweet from Benny Johnson, bringing up a report from CNN. Former FBI counterterrorism expert says he thinks the assassination attempt by Ryan Routh was likely politically motivated and was probably influenced by diatribes comparing Trump to Hitler. This is on CNN, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play the clip.
What does the fact that he wanted to survive say to you?
It says that he's not he's not suicidal, apparently. He wasn't going to take his own life if he was almost being captured. Clearly, we saw that he was captured without that. And it tells me that he's probably much more politically motivated. The last shooter in Pennsylvania, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to promote him in any way, but he was clearly a guy that was looking for the notoriety of taking that shot. I would think we're going to find that this guy's extremely politically motivated and that he probably was spurred on by much of the political diatribes that are going on these days, talking about Trump, equating him to Hitler and things like that. So I don't think this is the last we'll see of crazies out there trying to do this.
Yeah, that is a bold report to come from CNN. When CNN is running a guy saying, yeah, when they compare Trump to Hitler, that's what causes this, and we are likely to see it again, you know things are getting hot. We also had that Secret Service agent after the first assassination attempt. Technically, the first one was in 2015 when a guy tried grabbing a gun from a cop and was stopped. So, we called this one the second, but only because we didn't call the first one an assassination attempt because nothing really happened. After a bullet hits Trump in the ear, now we're saying it is. This happens. Secret Service agent wrote an email. He said, this will happen again, and we all know it. Mm-hmm. And then it did.
Yeah. Which again raises the question of Biden's responses. Well, Secret Service needs more resources. Did you only give them half the resources they needed before? Or why are we in a position where the answer is we need to direct more funding to Secret Service, who I'm not even sure is totally forgiven from the last time this happened, which by the way was 2 months ago. It seems like there's a broken system afoot, and I also think that there's a level of we just have to face the music here. We have a section of our political class that does not take accountability for their actions. And even though they're going to present themselves as the unity candidates, that we're here for everybody, they are going to continue to attack over and over again. It makes me think of Hillary Clinton and the baskets of deplorables, right? She is simultaneously saying Trump is the worst guy ever, this, whatever, and she's also attacking anybody who supports him. There is a level of cognitive dissonance there where you're saying, I am the best choice because I'll unite the country. Also, I pretty much hate all of you.
Like Biden, he's the unifier. He's a great unifier. But then, half of the MAGA Republicans are extremists. Mm-hmm. So, and his speech is beautiful I wipe my butt speech.
And then there's the conundrum of Donald Trump saying they call themselves the unity ticket, but they're destroying this country. There is no off-ramp. As Phil Labonte likes to say, we're past the off-ramp. And I was asking people this morning, everyone seems to agree that how could this possibly turn around? And I'll put it this way. There not being an off-ramp means, in my opinion, we are not going to come to the point where we sit down with Democrats and say, well, that was pretty wild, let's calm down. But there is still an optimistic approach to what actually ends up happening, and that is, should Donald Trump win and we get legitimate DOJ actions, criminals get arrested, Trump brings on great people like RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard, moderates who can help, but also some strong conservatives and anti-war types, libertarians. I think there's a strong possibility that while we will face some kind of strife from far left riots and extremists, it won't be civil war. It won't be bedlam. It won't be the collapse of this country. It'll just be tumult, hard times, followed by good times. Pessimistic? I don't know. The West Coast secedes from the Union. Who knows? Trump wins and then the Democrats just say, we out.
Well, I think Trump has to win, right? This is really a do or die election because for President Trump, it's either the White House or the jailhouse. He is going to die in prison with all of the charges that Democrats are levying against him if he does not win in November. So I think conservatives see something like that, and it does really feel like it's now or never. This is truly the most important election of our lifetime. So winning is a must. We cannot afford to lose. You think the political discourse is bad and filled with violence now. I mean, imagine if President Trump is spending the rest of his years on this earth rotting in a cell. It is going to get 10 times worse.
And I think Americans will feel unsafe because it's if they can go after Trump, they'll go after me.
We have a statement Donald Trump gave, quote, all of a sudden we heard shots being fired in the air. And this is breaking right now. and I guess probably 4 or 5, and it sounded like bullets. Secret Service knew immediately it was bullets, and they grabbed me. We got into the carts, and we moved along pretty good. I was with an agent, and the agent did a fantastic job. There was no question that we were off that course. I also heard reports they tackled him.
Yeah, I saw that. Which he said after Butler, PA, really hurts.
I can
he made a
imagine.
joke. Joe Biden couldn't have handled that.
78, you know.
Yikes.
I think he said his shoes flew off because it was
They did.
such
You can
an
see him.
impact.
You can see
Yeah.
him.
This time or in Butler? I know in Butler, because like Butler, he was like, "Let me get my shoes. Let me get my shoes." There's something so funny about that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They jumped on top of him, and wow.
So I heard shots being fired, all of a sudden fired in there. So he's basically the Secret Service fired at the dude.
Yep.
Can they just fire at people because they see a weapon?
They must have seen a guy holding a rifle in a prone position, and they went,
Let's go.
weapon.
Let's go now.
Well, I mean, if
You don't want to
you're-
wait.
I mean, I know, but cops are different. I guess Secret Service is different than cops. Cops probably.
I would think.
I think it's
I don't
similar
know.
protocol.
I'm pretty sure if you're any law enforcement and someone's pointing a rifle at you, you are allowed to defend yourself.
Yeah. Yes. But I wasn't sure if the guy was seeing him like a distance. Oh, there's a dude over there, or he was there in front of him, like standing there in front of him. Like I don't know the situation yet.
From
I
what
don't know if it matters.
They said that the Secret Service agent who was scouting the next hole course, I don't know, I'm not a golf person, saw the barrel of the gun sticking out from the bush. And I heard a different former sniper talk about it on air, and he was saying, this is something we're trained for because the barrel of a gun is straight and branches are not. And so
Yeah.
it stands out. So it's not that he was like
Wow.
under fire himself. It's just that he knows what he's looking at.
I don't think it matters if someone is pointing directly at you, if they have a gun aimed and ready in any direction. First of all, if you're a cop and someone's pointing directly away from you, but it's toward the vicinity of people,
Oh yeah.
cops are gonna stop that guy. If you're on a golf course and there is a rifle sticking out, if you're standing here and it's pointing, past you, you're still within a line of threat where the guy could aim at you, and that person clearly holding a rifle through the fence in the shrubs is intending on killing someone. So I think it's safe to assume you could be the target as a law enforcement officer, probably who was going for Donald Trump. I can only imagine they saw that, and then immediately, like as soon as they saw it, they probably opened fire.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a rifle ready to go.
And you see like the two little things right there. Like why does he have these things in front of him protecting him? It looks like he's like he's ready to go.
I think it's gonna get crazier. How many more?
We'll
how
have
many?
a third?
50 days.
I mean, we are 50 days today.
It is 50.
Today, yeah.
Holy crap!
We're so close. It's crazy.
I think for election night we're gonna do the show from a special. It's will be a special event at a very large location in Wyoming, just far away from everything.
And have somebody walk the perimeters and let us
like
know
it.
what's going on.
Yeah, maybe it's actually a bad idea to go to the middle of nowhere, especially that close to Washington and Oregon.
Especially since our major airport is in Washington, D.C. I feel like that would make it difficult to get back.
No, there's Baltimore.
Yes, great. Baltimore.
Better.
Hooray!
You can fly in the Harrisburg from Atlanta and drive down 2 hours.
Anyways, we'll
Yeah.
figure out our
There you
election
go.
day plans.
There
If there's
are
a bunker, if
airports.
there
Pittsburgh's 2 hours away.
There's little small ones.
West Virginia is actually such a great spot because we're like 2 hours from Pittsburgh. We're an hour from Baltimore, an hour from D.C., 2 hours from, we say Harrisburg.
Harrisburg's 2 hours. Philly's like 4. I think
Richmond's
4.
3.
Yeah. It's a good
So
spot.
it's, I mean, if we were like in the horse and buggy days, you're talking a couple days travel, I guess.
That'd be rough. But so many things were worse than the horse and buggy days for that reason.
Yeah, thank God for 60.
I don't know. Was it or was it a lot better? It's like, would you be willing to accept like a lack of antiseptics, sorry, but if it meant that you didn't have the crackpot social media and you could mostly just live your life in peace and not
It's hard.
be bothered?
I think about this so regularly, I can't even tell you. So, like electricity, huge fan, love that stuff. On the other hand,
Like
having
AC.
great. Having a strong social, a strong sense of culture and social cohesion with an understanding of a shared value system, then that's pretty nice, man.
I know.
Is it worth electricity? Maybe. Like, I would love to live in a world where we have both, but apparently I can't.
It's not. It's hard
You think it's not worth electricity? I don't know. I mean, there was a period where we had both.
I like refrigerators.
I would like to go back to that
That would
time.
be nice.
They're like
can't go wrong with the
1899.
fridge,
Women couldn't vote.
Oh, there we go. No, just kidding.
The thing is, if we had a strong culture and a strong set of shared values, then I think there are a lot of things that we look at now as like threats, like, oh, we're going to take the rights from women away. But if we were in a society where women felt like they were represented through their husbands, or they felt like their needs matters and were being looked after, then maybe it wouldn't be that big a deal, right? Like the idea that you are under threat makes people say, oh, well, I have to have a seat at the table. I have to have representation. And I understand that impulse. On the other hand, if we had a strong culture, if we had high trust in our neighbors and our institutions, then we wouldn't have the same fears and anxieties that we have now.
Yep.
It's very deep.
Anyways, I think that should be your poll question. Electricity or social cohesion? Which one would you want?
You know,
I'll do it right now.
it's not so much the electricity thing for me. It's I stubbed my toe and I've got an infection. I'm going to die and there's nothing I can do about it. Mm-hmm. It's kind of wild to, I was watching like I think it was Outer Limits, actually. It wasn't a Civil War movie. Two guys get transported back in time to the Civil War. And then some dude gets shot in the leg and they're like, gotta cut his whole leg off. Because they didn't know how to just like sterilize. They just didn't, it's funny to me because like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but can't you just pour whiskey on it or something? Wouldn't that clean it out? But they
Alcohol helps.
They didn't wash their hands.
Yeah.
They didn't wash their hands.
A lot of people don't do it nowadays.
That's true. That's
You
gross.
ever see those? I mean, they're fake, but like historical recreations where like, we gotta set this guy's bone. Somebody pour a bunch of whiskey in his mouth because that's their only painkiller. Like, can you imagine? I would never make it. I would just be dead. Like, there's nothing I can do.
It works.
You'd become an alcoholic. So
I mean, does it work fast enough if there's something going to show? I digress. There's all kinds of things that I am grateful for in modern life. On the other hand, it does seem like some of these things seem to have been given at a price of losing a sense of who we are that creates a sense of safety and a sense of a roadmap forward, so to speak.
It's industrialization.
We're anti-factory.
Industrialization, the mass. Well, it was like, there's a society where you had a homestead and your life was just like your grandparents' life. You tended to the cows, you bred the cows, you bred the chickens, and I don't know, once every other week or maybe once a month, you'd go to town to pick up some supplies and check your mail. And that was it. Then you'd go home, you wake up, you tend to the animals, you hang out, you talk and play music with your friends and your family. Then you go to bed, you wake up, cows, pigs, chickens. Then industrialization happens. And now it's just, no one knows what they're doing or what their purpose is. Life is changing too rapidly. People are going insane because of it. It's, shared culture comes largely from having to live the same way as everybody else, waking up, tending to the animals, and going to bed. Now, I don't know, people don't even have real jobs. Mm-hmm. Women are just doing OnlyFans. It's the, we industrialize everything, mass produce everything, overproduce everything. Now we have morbidly obese homeless people.
Well, dude, like 40% of our nation are obese, and that's insane. That could be low. It could be higher than 40.
And chronic diseases at like all-time highs, despite, modern medicine and everything that's supposed to make us healthier.
Everyone's on drugs. It's insane.
Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe, and we'll see you all there.